trying not to make this table bounce, but it's bouncing. Welcome back. Those of you who are new, a very warm welcome. My return subbies, thank you. I'm sorry I'm a bit late. We're trying to cram everything. I am going to be doing a collective energy update as well. I'm aiming for today, and that's going to be for masculines and feminines. I'll do two separate energies because with the moon frequency coming through on the 20th, it is where we are individually actually looking at ourselves. So I really want to tune into the energy. I've been getting a lot of downloads, and I do feel it's a very important point in our journey of how we're looking at things, especially moving into 2022, 2024. We're really going through a mass transformation. You know, the frequency of Pisces, you know, we're only halfway through the Pisces. Got to think now, Pluto. We're only halfway through that, and that's really moving in through the age of Aquarius. How's my niece? Has she been good, Rebecca? Hello, Sophia. My niece watches me, and then she sees me in the 3D, and she's like, "You're not on the camera. How are you there?" It's a bit like the first time my daughter saw Humphrey B. Bear. She was like, "You're huge. You don't look like you did on TV." So funny. Let's have a look at Sagittarius. Sophia, behave for your mother. Seriously. Yes, well, the kids are having a lot of trigger points at the moment as well. They're going through a lot of transformations. There's a lot of unease for us. Everyone's feeling uneasy. Hi, Elizabeth. How are you? Everyone's feeling anxious. Sagittarius has had a gutful. I don't know who they peeved at, but they're really peeved. They're like, oh, they're overtired. Overtired. Thinking a lot. Their perspective is changing. Their childhood energies are changing. They're just looking at everything, and there's this peevy kind of energy. It's not, I wouldn't say it's aggressive. It's just, oh, really? Do we have to? Where's this coming from? A lot of reflection from childhood. Trying to do too many things. I mean, I think we all collectively are. We're trying to get things done. They've got big dreams coming, but they're really wanting to get the ball rolling with things. And there's frustrations, and it's going to be pretty interesting for Sagittarians in April, because we do have Saturn retrograde. So I would say they're already sensing that frequency to a reflective state of what they need to change, where problems were. They're coming down in a sense of a download, and they're probably already, I would say, feeling the frequency of particular things of what they're needing to change. It's almost like Saturn's the accountable, you know, of what our higher consciousness is telling us we should have done. Maybe what we should have changed and we haven't. And, you know, if in alignment, Sagittarius this year is going to be going through a mass transformation. So they've really got the bigger picture in mind. There's mass transformation. Hi. There's mass transformation for Sagittarius this year. You're going to have to be patient, Beck. Have fun with that. It's always a joyride, isn't it? Too many ideas. Too many ideas at the moment, I would say, about how things can go. I'm also seeing for some Sagittarians change of employment, but through choice. Yeah, have fun with that. You know what he's like. Good luck with that one, girlfriend. My brother's a Sagittarian. Hey, Andrew. How's New Zealand? Apart from the bad news on the internet, my thoughts with all the people in Christchurch. I believe it was Christchurch. But let's get off the subject of politics, eh? There you go. Yeah, I do see change. Look, a lot of Sagittarians were hindering themselves. They were looking at their life as, this is where I belong. That's the box, but that's where I want to go. But, gee, there's the box. They're kind of getting peeved with that now, and it's like, yeah, that's not working for me. Good old pressure cooker. This is for Sagittarius, twin flames. Spiritual path. And then I will be doing the masculine energy for the collective and the feminine as a check-in. Now, I will be pre-recording videos for general and love for monthly and mid-monthly, providing I can get my life together, because everything is, I've got to get everything ready for my transition in my life as well, but for the balance back on YouTube. So there's going to be a lot more videos. Therefore, I will be able to do live sessions, you know, so a lot's changing. All of us are changing, but I'm wanting the channel to grow. So I will be adding different style videos, but it's got to be within balance. So I want to get back to a lot more live sessions where I can do the check-in with the masculine and the feminine, speak to you about the astrological aspects of what I'm tuning into energetically, obviously, because I'm a psychic medium. The things I tune into will be different. And they can somehow potentially help you have some understanding why you're feeling certain things and dealing with them in a certain way. Now, what's working for Sagittarius at the moment, and this is in the domain of their spiritual connection, they're manifesting, which is really perfect. And again, the Saturn energy coming through, wanting to manifest, you know, fantasy is positive. Don't look at that as negative. It can be that they've got the rose-colored glasses on, or they're getting that they could potentially moving into the 20th feel a little bit more romantic. But at the same time, they're manifesting this in. So if you're in contact or you're not, it means nothing. It's the frequency of what's coming through. This is what's helping them. By meditating on what they're wanting, they're actually co-creating it. Even if potentially they're thinking, and I feel this has changed because initially it used to be that's the box, that's where I belong. Now they're like, I want that, that's the bigger picture. And I'm actually seeing, because they're knowing in their consciousness of what they're wanting, they're actually accidentally manifesting it. And again, there you go, employment. Employment at the moment is their block. They're very traditional in their values and the way they are wanting things to be. So once their mind's set on a certain paradigm, that's the way it is, okay? They're changing, they are evolving, and they're learning to change through experiences they've had. So potentially some things that have happened to them in the past had to a degree shaped their opinion. But now what's happening is they're looking at it and they're going, that's not necessarily true. So again, all month I've been saying pressure cooker. Any pressure that's put on us, any suppression that we've directly had is there to liberate us. And we must look at it as a gift. So I do feel Sagittarius looking at this situation within their spiritual connection and the bigger picture of their life of what the blocks are, and realizing that they don't wish to live in a particular way, either at a financial level or a spiritual level. They know they need to grow. So they're fantasizing about the benefits of situations and how it can look, not the negativity, the bigger picture of what they feel it can look like. How they directly feel about you and what is working. They're looking at any ways that perhaps in the past they had people that disrespected them, triggered them, treated them at a lower frequency. And again, the energies can swap. So where maybe they need to be truthful in the situation about how deep this spiritual connection is, how they're looking at you, but perhaps they haven't voiced it, and really being truthful to the point of what they're dealing with in a 3D notion. It can also be where people have betrayed them very separately to you, and they're being honest about it and then seeing you in a very new light. The tension that they're feeling, however, is projecting and portraying a different story. So even if you're not in contact with them, it can be that you're picking up on the vibration that's making you feel anxious. Hi, Donna. And through that anxious energy, it's because in the past, you know, this vibration was how they were. High-strung, trying to get things done, living on the edge, working, no play. They're actually wanting balance in their life now. So that no longer is working for them. So anything that is creating that pressure for them is the catalyst to change. that will create honesty within their life, because they understand now is the lie of the situation. Oh, I can go on working like this forever. I can go on doing these things forever and nothing ever changes. They now know that's a lie. They now know that certain things do need to change because their life is physically changing, their needs are changing, and your needs also are changing. So as they're growing, they're understanding that this is what's necessary. If you directly have children together, or there's a karmic energy. Now, the karmic energy doesn't have to be a mother or a father figure, but this is in the domain of those of you who are either dealing with children and you're in this spiritual connection, or this could potentially be a karmic on your side where it's the children on mother, father's side. Using your intuition is what's going to benefit you here. Trusting in the bigger picture of how to create that balance, how to bring things full 360. That's really what's working for you. Using your intuition in order to deal with your counterpart, or them directly dealing with a 3D situation, potentially with karmic. Try not to foresee things, though. Don't get so paranoid. Like, yes, trust in your intuition, but don't manifest negatively. You know, especially for feminine, if you're watching and you're like, oh, what if this or that happens? You know, what won't work is you always going on a hunch. You know, it's really, okay, I'm going to trust my intuition, but I'm going to get very 3D right now. And that's because we really are dealing with 3D related dynamics. So what won't work for you guys at the moment, even if you're directly dealing with your twin and you're cross-referencing, is manifesting or fearing situations that can come that you directly need to look outside yourself. You know, coming back to a place where you can go, okay, I'm just going to deal with what's directly in front of me right now. If I'm getting too far ahead of myself, I'm triggering myself unnecessarily during Mercury retrograde, and that's really not necessary. I think we have enough of that. So trying to get to a place that you can learn to trust your intuition. We do get paranoid when we're connecting with someone or we're moving forward, that because of previous situations, it's always going to be the same. The key is, if you have a healthy relationship, and this can be your side or your twins, knowing that you can build a relationship with your intuition and speaking your truth is necessary, not going, hey, but what if that happens? No, okay, right now this is what's happening. What do I need to deal with in my 3D life on my side or their side? Hi, love. And doing that right now to actually help that forward motion. But what won't help you is constantly anticipating, manifesting and predicting and moving before you've dealt with the 3D in front of you right now. Does that make sense? Don't get too far ahead of yourself. We're having a karmic end at the moment. So the 0 degree point with the Libra and Moon is about a new start. That can mean finalizing situations. It can mean tower moments, but not of a negative nature. Anything negative that's happening is for a positive. We just might not like it. So you can have very sharp shift changes happening, but they're there to position you correctly. Trust in the process. Yes, it can feel scary when we're having tower moments, but the ironic thing is we tend to think that we know better. When we're hearing videos and they're saying, you need to walk away, or this person's this or this person's that, assess your situation at the given time. Use your intellect and your intuition. How does it directly correlate and link with you? How can you link situations to your given paradigm and situation individually or private reading, okay? If you're getting triggered, worst time you can look at videos. You know, to grow spiritually, you need to be in your conscious being. You need to be grounded enough to be able to cope with the download. If it's triggering you, it's because there's a blockage there that needs assessing it. So, you know, always look at that and go, okay, why is this triggering me? What happened to me previously that I can look at on my side of the fence so I don't project towards my twin or the direct situation? Because then what happens is we're manifesting it. Okay, other people. There is a lot of compassion to now. Okay. It can be that your twin, Sagittarius, is actually having a download to get to a point where they're having compassion for the given situation connected to you. So it might be they're experiencing something that you experienced previously that is now giving them the direct compassion and understanding. This is coming from other people, though. This isn't directly coming through you. But it can be some people's perspective at a positive level or negative. Don't ever look at it as negative. That it is helping vibrationally change your twin. It's helping them actually, for Sagittarius, look at things from a different perspective. This can be even seeing other people that are more successful in their opinion and saying, hey, if they can do it, I can do it. And really reaching that point, especially with this fantasizing happening here, which to me is feeling like Sagittarius is really manifesting positive things in. And those blockages that used to be there, it feels as though they're moving beyond that because there's a reason they've got to get to that point at a particular time. And I know that's very relevant for you, Beck. Running out of time, baby on the way. Okay. Now, with other people, this is super relevant. A lot of us at the moment are looking at situations and going, can't we go back to the old way of doing things that just felt safer? No, because you don't live there anymore. A lot of crap from the past is coming up. Some people that aren't with your twin might be looking at other people going, but that was the safest scenario. Maybe we should go to a high vibration soulmate. There can be, it's like, I literally do feel some of this energy does feel like a semi-funeral. And the reason I'm saying that is because we're looking over all the way back to 2010. Realistically speaking, I'll be honest, a lot of us have been looking back all the way through to our childhood, old friends. Mercury brings the past back. You know, like Event Horizon, what's been coming up for you personally? You know, even though you may be cross-watching and this is your twin's video, the information that's coming through in their life will also be relevant in yours. What's been coming up for you that you need to release so you can be in alignment to help your twin transform. So as you transform, they transform. What you're not seeing coming. The paradigm of separation. You might not be getting to spend as much time with your counterpart. What you're not seeing is it's benefiting you. Okay, so if suddenly, and this is quite relevant, you can be in union with your twin, reunion with your twin, in separation, and cross about the whole frequency of, gosh, when's this coming in? Look at your 3D life of what you're dealing with right now. Separation in any sense, it can be they're working too much, especially with the nodes having been in Cancer and Capricorn. Family domain, work domain, accountability, balance, you know, all of those things going on. The 20th does denote lots of changes. So are we separated? We are if we're only tuning into their frequency and we're directly going, where are they? What are they doing? Have we actually asked ourselves what we're doing? Is there anything we need to do to be prepared? Because I'm telling you, you need to be prepared. Like, there's things coming. We're building. We're in a building phase right now. Everything you do is going to directly prepare you for union. It's coming. Stop thinking it's not. If you're in connection and you're working on it, there's more things coming. You're growing. You need to be ready. We are getting to a point where, look, and honestly, I can say the purging at times is like we're crybabies, but we can feel the energy. Things are changing. We need to stay in alignment. It's very bloody hard during this retrograde. Totally understand, because we're petrified. We're like, this feels different. That restart button with the moon being in Libra is like, can we potentially have that romantic ending that we're wanting? What are we going to need to do to get that? Is there something we need to do to get that? Well, yes, there is. We can say to ourselves we're worthy. We can say to ourselves we're ready, or that we need to deal with our finances. We need to deal with our home-based environment. What can we do to make ourselves happy? Very separate to twin. Because if your twin comes in and you still have that codependent pattern, if they do then need to deal with things at a 3D level and they're tying up karmic ends, or they're working, or they're doing something, we're going back into that codependent pattern and not looking that we didn't do the work and we don't have our own light. Trust me, I keep trying to hold that light. Yildiz, you got the light. You know, we do that and we do go back over old patterns, but we do need to step back into it. It's the only thing that is going to be our saving grace is going, hey, I am an individual, unique being in my own right. I have everything to offer. Set things free and know there is no separation. The separation is with self. Once you deal with that, and that's on masculine or feminine side, that's on Sagittarius side or partner's side, it will come up as a mirror. If you can deal with that and you can say, hey, I've walked through the dark night of the soul. I've looked at things that have come up for me and triggered me. I've loved this person to the moon and back. Do I love myself to the moon and back? And would I be willing to step back and say, no deal, not because I don't love you or have compassion, but because perhaps it's not in alignment with who you are, because it's a new start, right? So all of us are almost like, who the bloody hell am I? Okay, this new start that's coming in, you're going, I'm different. You're different. I'm different. I wrote myself a love letter. What's good, because, you know, it's so ironic. We look at it and we give what we're wanting to receive. Yet when we stop and we say, geez, all these things I've been giving, I've never given to myself. And then once you realize you're worth it, you're actually angry at yourself because you're like, no, man, I'm damn worth that. And then you're not like negotiating. Don't negotiate. You know, it's like, no, those are my needs. And you don't have to respect them. But I respect them enough that that's for me. And it's not if you love me, you do that. No, you don't have to, but that's me. Okay? Sagittarius is getting ready. Oh, I'm telling you, get ready. Get ready. You're feeling this stagnation, counterpart. You're thinking, it's going to be the same forever. I'm going to be waiting around. And the energies, yes, can cross. Any stagnation with the separation, who's ever in separation at the moment, this is going to be relevant for you guys as well. It's temporary. It's for a reason. Look at your 3D. It's the key. It can be a problem, a blockage, alignment. It can be your perspective, perception, disconnect from control. The more you have that in a frequency, or you're looking at the way people are projecting towards you, around you, is the key. Okay, twin directly is dealing with partnerships, creation, wanting to celebrate, wanting to have that happy ending. I'm not feeling toxicity. I'm going to tell you off the bat. I don't need cards. Like I said, I'm a psychic medium. The energy I feel is, and this is very relevant for those of you who are Sagittarius that are masculines. The masculine frequency has tunnel vision right now. And I'll get into the masculine energy after. Regardless, Sagittarius separately, they're keeping their eye on the goal, okay? Trying to get this done. It may look out of alignment to you. There's a method to the madness. Trust the process. It is going to be a change for the better. They have every absolute intention to make this happen. No ifs and buts about it. I'm telling you, it's so strange. No, I'm not going to do it again. I'm going to write this down because I'm getting downloads as I am reading. Because I'm going to do the masculines video next. Okay, so yes, there's going to be a change of plans, but they're going to be prepared to deal with it. They have backup plans. Feminines who are tuning into this, you're like, how, where, what, why do I need to do this? Yeah, I get it, okay? You don't need to. They've got a backup plan. They're on a mission. They're balancing, okay, be it your feminine or masculine on Sagittarius, okay? Those of you who are Sagittarius, you're utilizing your masculine frequency at the moment to get things done, right? The ego is an interesting place. I mean, we look at the ego, which is sun frequency, which on the 20th, the sun and the moon during the equinox are going to be in alignment, dealing with aspects of self, dealing with communication. Interestingly enough, it's Mercury retrograde, which is kind of good because that's another video. but I'll say it anyway. Look at it this way. The first readings I was doing at the beginning of the month, throat chakra upright cards, no reversals, which is really strange because Mercury does govern communication, not being so good. They were all upright, and I was like, this is very interesting. Then I tuned into the fact that for those of us who have done the work, you know, it almost needs to be you're having a battle with your ego to the point where you succumb to the frequency and accept what universe is giving you. So that battle then exhausts you, and you're like, flip it. It's going to be what it's going to be. Once you reach that point, you understand that not everything is in your control, and the control paradigm is BS. So you release it, and universe gives you what you need because you're humbled. You're like, graciously, oh, solution come. Well, I couldn't find a solution. Bang, solution comes. Reaching a point here. There are situations changing that you don't need to do. You don't need to do anything for, but our fear-based frequency is making us evolve. When it comes to the masculine, what you're not grasping is it is a vibration, right? We all are vibrational beings. We attract anything we need to learn. Stop attracting what you need to learn. Look at your 3D life. What do you need to resolve? While all this is going on, you're probably getting the downloads of Sagittarius being very busy, ready to go through a storm to get to the other side because they're ready, but they're dealing with karmic related dynamics. Can be financial, emotional, spiritual, to push that aside to move forward. Feminines or counterpart energy, whoever you are as a cross watcher. Any trigger points of jealousy that's coming up, pause, okay? It's an old energy. It's triggering you. There can be old things coming up. It can also be your thought of, does this person actually get jealous? Do they have any emotion? Are they semi-detached? Again, I'm picking up an old frequency. If this is coming up for you, address it ASAP, okay? But don't be hard on yourself. We're human. It's coming up for a reason to prepare you for something. There are also external people who are jealous of you, and you're concerned about that. You're also looking at the way perhaps there was imbalances before and that there was more given on one side than the other. This meditation at times, again, because the moon's going to be at 0 degrees, which denotes a new start. Yeah, that's usually just before union, love. You tend to see it for 2 to 3 months. Even when you're in union, you keep seeing it because you've ascended to a point where you've transformed. So that's why you see the 144, 444, 111, and various other numbers. But I will be adding the numerology onto the other channel. Okay, you're thinking all sorts of things. Is this person in alignment? Do they want to be with me? Are they going to leave me? Will it move forward? There was an imbalance. When is that balance going to come back? Is this balance ever going to come back? Do they get jealous? How do we feel? Do they even look at me this way? Why are they so, I can't, it's not dense. It's not the word dense. Why are they so mute? Or, how did I explain it to my twin the other day? At times, it's like a poker face. It's like, are you there? Like, what are you thinking right now? Disconnected, yet not, okay? Because a lot of the masculines are processing at the moment. Okay, you do know the potential. You know there's joy to be had, and you're like, bring it. I want my joy. I want my happiness, okay? Yeah, it's like, hello, anyone out there? Okay, both of you you've got a bit of bouncing back and forth. This can be even if you're not in communication. There's a bit of ego going on, a bit of a battle of the clans, clash of clans. You know each other well, okay? That is your saving grace, but you don't. And the reason I'm saying you don't is because when your twin comes into alignment, Feminines, I'm really sorry, you're going to have to reinvent yourself because you're dealing with a different person. So when you are hearing different videos and they're saying a new person's coming into your life, yeah, that's about right. Because they are a new person, the walls get pulled down, and it's a bit like the kilt being lifted. You're going, wow, I didn't see that coming. I'm just saying, like, you literally will have to change, and you'll feel, hi Sarah, you'll feel like, have I changed enough? Well, you have. You're just so shocked by the change that you're both going to change again. So when you're hearing videos and they're saying a new person's coming into your life, we're renewing and regenerating every day. If their attitude is coming in a new fashion, yes, in fact, they are that new energy. Partnership, joining, meditation, wishing for this. And I'm seeing changes season, this being potential. Dreams that you shared together. Yes, you guys are going to cause gossip, and that is part of the beauty of the twin flame journey. It's almost like while you're separate, karmic energies and universe, God knows why, there's no drama. Everything kind of settles down and you're like, oh, I really miss that. And then you come back together and the tongues start wagging, the problems started coming, but you're ready to deal with it. But you're going to have to be patient, okay? It is going to cause gossip. This could be through karmics. This could be through other people. As soon as they see you're happy, they're like, I want a slice of that cake. And you're like, well, where were you when I was on the bones of my butt? And that can be friends, family, whoever had been an issue to you. And you're going, wow. Look at it realistically. When you see this frequency, don't get triggered. You will get triggered. I'm human. I get triggered. But then I look at it and I go, wow, you must have some sort of interesting energy that you are projecting this, because it's not about you. Okay? Don't get paranoid that you got bad luck, because both of you are as bad as each other at the moment, but it's the frequency at the moment. It's like, it can even be where you're just tackling any conflict and bad luck right now, separate or collectively together. Work together as a team. You might be cross at each other about various things that happened. Yes, I had been dreaming about twin, and he blooming sleeps next to me, so it was really weird. It was like, why am I dreaming about you? You're right here. I feel he was communicating with me, so obviously there was something I needed to know. Thank you very much. You can work together as a team, okay? Work together as a team. Try and find that communication so you're not triggering each other. Know that when you go into it, even if you're feeling, hey, what is the general vibration of this connection? Those of you who aren't in connection, you might be super critical towards the past history right now, psychoanalyzing it, scrutinizing yourself. You're trying to be patient, but then you're yearning for them. You might hear crack through the grapevine that triggers you, as well as feeling, God, you know, do the karmics have more luck than me right now? There's a delay in the movement forward temporarily, and that's why the unseen is separation. Now, even if you're in union with your twin and you have separation, it's stepping back and actually doing a bit of work on yourself. It doesn't mean you're separating. You're never separated in a twin flame journey. Not even if you have reached reunion, I'm not feeling a physical separation. I'm feeling due to work or an external situation temporarily, but it's for the bigger picture, not for, hey, I'm leaving you. Does that make sense? Interestingly enough, you'll find a solution. Whenever I tuned into something that I knew was a direct blockage, it can be that your twin is dealing with it. And quite honestly, within a day, the actual solution came. It was so weird. You don't need the communication for forward movement. They will communicate when they feel directly ready. And I will be doing the collective energy update at the moment for the masculines next. And that is for their energy of the downloads I've had. So I'll have a quick drink and I'll come back in and we'll be doing the masculines. And then hopefully I'll move on to the feminines. Any questions while I'm here? Brace yourselves for the 20th, though. Sorry if that's bouncing. I've got to get a different table. Because there can be, look, it's positive, and any negative is a positive. Never look at it as a negative. There is going to be change moving forward from the, I'm even saying the 17th. You'll feel the frequency coming in, moving into the Libra moon. Try not to be too critical in how you're seeing things. Not everything is all 3D. There's the 5D. Yes, look at the 3D. We can't change people, but they can change ourselves. Allow them to change themselves. They can change addictions. That's a belief that the person is inadequate. Release that paradigm. Get some citrine. Meditate and give it to universe, and the purge will help them release it. And it's your frequency of saying, hey, what works for you? Would you be willing to work with them in a team to get those situations potentially sorted? But they need to vibrationally be ready for that. But then you've got to look on your side where the addictions are, you know, because we can do a list. We can write down on one side what you feel they need to change and then see where the direct mirror is. And you'll always find it directly correlates with something that you have a belief system about, or directly in a different way you're doing for others so much, you know, and that can be an addictive tendency too. It can be drinking, smoking, alcohol, drugs, eating, exercising. It can even be something completely separate. Let them go. If they run off, they come back. But you don't chase and you don't run. You stay in alignment. Every situation can be sorted. But while we're in that codependent patterning and we're going, I need to save them, or maybe if I just tell them to do it this way, lead by example. Have a look where it kind of links with your life and say, okay, I'm going to change my vibration. What was mine? I remember doing a list and I was like, okay, because I remember I was thinking about the mirror, and I thought, one day I just thought, you know, bugger the mirror. I'm going to feel sorry for myself for a little bit because I'm allowed to. And then when I was vibrationally ready to address those areas, I wrote a list and I had a look and I went, wow. There were things that I needed to take accountability on my side of the fence. There was healthy boundaries I didn't create on my side of the fence, yet I was actually in potentially judgment mode where my twin wasn't taking his power back, but there was definitely areas I wasn't taking my power back. And when I did that, we both individually, separately, started doing that work. But it definitely lightens your load so that when you are in reconnection with your twin again, you get and grasp how it's done, because you had to live through that experience yourself. And leading by example is about having the understanding due to experiencing such yourself. So we can't ever see the other person's side of the fence and believe we can unless we've walked in their shoes. We can listen, which is, you know, but we get too dense in the 3D. They've done this, they've done that. In society, that's unacceptable. Therefore, that's the only reason it's happened. And that can even be cheating. It's like, oh, they cheated on me, so they thought someone was better. Not necessarily. Quite honestly, if a person has disconnected from you, especially in a twin flame journey, it's usually because of self-worth. And sometimes even from the feminine side, it's because we can be getting to a place where we're constantly saying what they need to change. So therefore, they're correlating the point of they're not adequate enough, and that maybe you would be happy with someone else. So it's not that you can't communicate and you can't say those things, but at times the reason our mind works in particular ways can create these scenarios for us to release it and look at it a different perspective. It could be due to drugs, alcohol addictions. It could be due to things that happen in childhood that we don't feel safe with opening up to people. There's various scenarios. But when you can detach and look at that person's point of view away from your pain body, you've got to get grounded before you start doing the work there, then you can start gaining a lot of clarity, and then look at your life and say, you know, we tend to look at the twin flame journey and say, but it's for the romantic ending. Yes, it is. But can you grasp that where are you blocking yourself from growth in your life potentially? And really interesting that we've got Jupiter, Saturn, you know, all of those areas where we've got this very unique new building frequency coming through. But we've got this churning in our chakras, the lower chakras, that is really preventing us from manifesting these things. And that's because of our pain body experience. It's like, where are you staying in a job where you think you can't create? Where is the energy coming down to you where you're financially broke and you're saying to yourself, oh my God, am I going to be okay? It's like, manifest. Tune your energy into that and say, I'm worthy of love, because that's heart chakra. But it's also the tools in life, which are the lower chakras, being grounded enough, being able to create creative solutions energetically. And the Libra moon's going to really be beneficial for that. So, okay, let's step back before Saturn retrograde. What potentially can we gain as a download to start moving certain situations forward and make that pretty ending happen? And it doesn't directly have to be connected to, you know, your romantic sphere. It's your whole life that the twin flame journey frees you from. So it's your employment, it's your healthy boundaries, it's your spiritual growth, it's your compassion, it's your mentorship, it's all of those things. And when you really get down to the tea of it, it's like, wow, how disabled was I in my life? How debilitating did that wound directly hinder my progress? And where was the projection coming out towards other people, and other people were pushing it towards me? Does that make sense? Yeah, but the boundaries also, look, when we say healthy boundaries, we don't have to dictate for that. We stand in the truth about it and say, I can't do that. If we're having to state to a person at all times, that's dictatorship, that's control-related dynamics. So therefore, we can't directly say that we've grown and they haven't, because we haven't, because we're feeling we've got to constantly reinstate what we need when we lead our truth and say, that doesn't feel nice to me, I'm just going to be honest with you, and the conversation's over. And you walk your way, you know, stand in your truth, but you shouldn't have to keep repeating yourself. If you do, then why have you pushed the pause button? Do you need to step back for them to resolve those situations, even if it does hurt, because you're respecting yourself? It's friggin' hard, but it's necessary at times. But trust that change can happen. Change does happen. It happens every day. Last question before I go. I can feel my neck ready to crack. That's okay, Rebecca. Give my niece a kiss for me. Yeah, but never get to a point where you got to run away. It's like I had to ask myself at the point with my last time with my twin, and it was like, am I running or am I running from myself? Now, if you're running from yourself because you're in an uncomfortable situation, you better just stay there. Because then if you have that vibration again, you'll never have to deal with it again, because you'll relate to it differently. So even the most unhealthy vibration, you're like, oh, I'm getting triggered and I'm not. Okay, why? Why are you feeling triggered? Can you change the way you relate to it? Always keep safe, obviously, but know that the trigger points and conflict and situations like that, you have the tools, and if you can resolve them within yourself, and the way you relate is a tool, and it's great. If you can't, obviously you're not safe, definitely, you know, use your logic. But these vibrations do help you. So if you're being faced with a similar vibration constantly, it's a you thing. Work out where that's coming from so it doesn't have to keep triggering you the way it does. And that's going to then liberate you, where if twin then does that, or you then do that to twin, it's just not going to work. You're going to go, oh, that's looking ugly. You'll constantly live from the perspective of the mirror, because you'll know from what operating system you're coming from, and you'll be going, oh, God. You'll be going, listen, Linda, you're not looking too high vibration right now. Let them deal with it. But we're all individually dealing with things moving into the 20th, so get ready. I shall be back shortly. If you're needing a booking, the link is below.